everybody, my name is Harry and welcome back to the workshop. In today's video we are going to be making some side tables out of this lovely slab of Italian olive. It's come from Surrey Timbers. You can probably see there is some knots and probably some bug holes in it as well. So we're going to be using 2-part epoxy with a tint of green to fill those. And leg-wise, we're going to be using hairpin legs. That's my nan's idea. She's just getting me to make some tables for her. But I'm going to make them look as nice as they can be. We've got a lot of new machines, a lot of new tools, which is great. Okay, so this is the slab of olive we're going to be using. My nan has specifically said that she wants to use the other side because apparently it's got a spine on it. Which it sort of does look like a spine. The knot pattern is very interesting on this side, so we're going to want to keep that. Yeah, it's quite funky, this grain on this side. So what I'm going to do is, before I start cutting it to length, I'm going to use masking tape just to mask off and keep the knot or the burr in, because we're going to be filling that with resin. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to do is mask that off, measure the rough length that we want. Obviously I will take the track saw and give that a nice square edge. I think we might leave the bark on because it does look quite nice. I know some people may not like the bark, but I'm going to keep it on. And then once I've got a nice square edge on here, I will measure down the rough length and cut it there. That way I can get the resin poured in and I'm not battling with this 1.5 metre long slab. But yeah, let's get into it then. So yeah, that's the edge that you get off of the Festool TS55. Nice clean. There are no little marks from the saw blade, or there are a couple, but they're very, very faint, if that is not the wood grain itself. There's no burning. It's a lovely piece of kit. Measure how the line I'm going to cut, how square that is to the end I've just cut. So I had that pretty square, pretty parallel to that line. However, it did give this board sort of an angled look, so I think I'm just going to go for what looks nicer on this board. Okay, so now that I've got the table cut down a little bit less than its actual length, mostly so that there is enough wood to do the other table as well. So the idea that this is going to be sort of like a sideboard on the landing, just to put, don't know what on, things you would put on a landing table, not sure what though. And then the other one is going to be like a small side coffee table for the armchair in our sitting room. So You saw in the beginning of the video that I used masking tape to mask off the other side of this knot. What I'm going to do now is, generally you would seal it, however I don't know how I would get a sealer in there to properly seal it all, because this bit here goes in and then down towards me. Is I'm going to mix up a little bit of epoxy resin. I've got the CHROMACRAFT resin tint in the colour of leaf green, which is the one that my nan wanted. I've also got the EPOXY Flow Cast, crystal clear casting epoxy resin. So yeah, I'm going to get a little pot to mix these in. I've been talking for long enough now, so I think we'll go to a time lapse with some interestingly fun music. I don't know what I'm going to choose yet, but we'll have some music overlaying this little time lapse while it slowly zooms in on me, pouring some resin. So, since last time that you saw this, it's changed a little bit. Got a couple of leaks on the floor. And if I get the exposure right, it's gone a bit messy. We've got hot glue everywhere. Now the epoxy at this stage is quite tacky, and you can sort of see it's not completely full up, so as it's a little bit tacky, it's a perfect time to mix a little bit more up and just top it up, I think. So, different day, but I'm still in the workshop. I am working on the epoxy, so the epoxy is fully cured now. I've got a Veritas cabinet scraper, which I've used the crown burnisher to burnish quickly, and I'm just scraping off the excess epoxy, so one makes it easier to remove with the sander, and it doesn't mean I'm going to gum up all my sanding discs. Yeah, I'm just going to scrape down till I get to the same level as the wood. And then we can sand it, sort out the live edge, because the live edge is still quite breaky, and then yeah, fit the legs, whack a finish on it, and then fix the legs. Yeah, let's get scraping. got a 240 grit pad on the sander. I'm going to start going over, and then I'm going to switch to the hand sanding block to do the live edges. I'll probably use either just a slight round over bit, or I will just use the sander to Aris the square edges, just because they are quite sharp still from where they've been cut on the track saw. And then I'll flip it over, mark some mounting holes, drill, pre-drill for the legs, and then we can get a finish on it, get the legs on it, and it'll be done. So yeah, sanding again. Alrighty, so finish wise, I'm going to be using the Osmo Polyx oil. This one is the 3011 clear glossy, so it's a clear finish and it's glossy. With Osmo, it's very important that you stir the stuff very thoroughly, because it's a liquid wax. The wax is suspended in the oil, so it's not liquid wax, a hard wax oil, and it's important to apply it thinly so you don't get build up too much. So I've attached the legs. I'm not going to finish the underside because, to be honest, it's not going to get seen. It's not going to get touched. So I'm just going to chuck this on the top and on the sides, and then let it dry. Give it a polish up. Check it over, and it'll be good to go. With Osmo, you want a flat bottom stirrer, ladies, so you can stir around, get it all incorporated, and then I'll just probably use a disposable paintbrush to apply it. The brush you want one ideally natural bristles. You don't want one that's very stiff. You want it firm, but you want the end of the brush to be nice and soft. Let's finish. Thank you to those of you who have stayed to the end of this video, it's really appreciated. If you've just skipped to the end, or if you've actually stayed to the end, I hope you enjoyed the project. It was quite fun to make. It's something I've always wanted to do for a very long time, is actually make proper furniture rather than just the odd little house project here and there. Obviously I do make furniture at college, but that's set to the Seating Guild's qualification. whereas this is my own kind of thing that I wanted to do. I've got another smaller table to make to go in the sitting room. That one hasn't got any resin with it, I was just sanding it and putting some legs on, so I'll probably do that today. The table looks great. The only downside to it is the Osmo was very particular about how I applied it. In the end, I sanded down to 180 grit and used a sponge. Used a sponge to apply it using this side. Osmo themselves do sell scouring pads to apply it. It's the non-abrasive one, so it doesn't leave any marks. Test different methods of application, so like with the cloth, with the brush, with a roller, with a sponge, and go from there. It's what I should have done, to be honest, but I thought it would be alright, so I've applied it with a brush before, and that's what they say to do, but apparently not. Depends how you apply it, where you apply it, and when, because it is quite humid at the moment. Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, or a thumbs down if you didn't enjoy it. It's up to you. Please consider subscribing. It means you'll never miss another upload. Got a couple of uploads coming up, which is going to be great. Let's try and get into this frequently now. But yeah, if you've got any feedback, leave it down in the comments below. If not, you can DM me on Instagram and I will probably get back to you. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing and I'll see you in the next one.